Hi, my name's Gus Cameron, and I'm the owner of This Old Chopper.
Hey, welcome to another week. We are still at it. Had a little bit of a slow start this week. I had a lady that we've been driving back and forth to Camp Hill, spouse of a veteran. Her spouse passed away on Monday. It's sad. Anyways, we've developed quite a nice friendship, and she's very appreciative of all of us driving her. And if you're watching this, you know who you are. And just thank you. It's what we got to do. Imagine there's a spouse that wants to be with her veteran at Camp Hill. She can't drive anymore, and there's no programs in place to get her back and forth to see her veteran. Not VAC, not the Legion, not nothing. Makes me damn sad. Anyways, maybe I got to mention this on my other channel, Wrenching for Wellness. So it's a bit of a shitty week. It really is. I haven't done a whole lot. I just came out here and started wrenching because I needed to. I needed some wrenching. I just hooked up the brake line. I tightened it. I rerouted it where I thought it would look and work good. It's all tight. Everything's tight. It's all tight. I'm going to put some .5 in there, and I'm going to use my handy dandy. And I'm going to pump fluid up from the caliper all the way to the master cylinder. See if I can make this work. Toot sweet. I don't know. You just got to keep going forward, right? All right. I'll set the camera up and we'll see if we can get this done. Got my oil can. Got that up there. Give it an 8. That's what it is. It's an 8. All right. So. Gonna open it. All right. Okay, it's open. Okay, start pumping. Princess Auto. Ain't that something? I had to put my finger over the end of it and get it to build up some pressure. There. All right, so open. Don't ask me. It's putting fluid in it. Got a little drip going on too. There.
think it's working. I'm not entirely sure. I know it likes for me to open, pump, close, pump, close, pump, close, pump, close. It's got some pressure. It's going somewheres, I guess. Let's put disc brakes on a Honda. Let's just put disc brakes on a Honda. Ha! What the frig? I'm just gonna go in and take a break. How you doing? So here we go. I'm gonna do it the old-fashioned way. It's probably not as old-fashioned as some of it, but I got this vacuum pump, Amazon, and I'm gonna bleed it. I'm going to bleed it with this vacuum pump. But first I'm going to make sure I got enough oil in the master cylinder, and I think I'm going to have to tie wrap that on there because it seems like it's falling off. And I got to get up here. I want to use this fluid. Yeah. Dot 5. I'm going to suck her down with the vacuum pump. Don't ask me about the properties of Dot 5. I know there's a difference. One's silicone and one's glycol or something like that. So yeah, so I think tie wrap would help me potentially. Put the wrench on first. Put it up here like this. No, put it down, and then I can lift up. All right, put the hose on. Everything, nothing wants to sit flat. Everything's freaking silly. Put this on. All right, like that. Put that on like that. Push that down. Potentially up. There we go. All right, so that's on there. So it's sucking. Lots of air. It's coming, I think. I don't know. Tons of air. Tons and tons of air. I'd like to know if my level up there is going down any. I'll probably shut it off here and go have a look. I could be empty up there. I don't freaking know. I kind of doubt it, but let's go look. Our bleeder's tight. Bit of fluid in the jug. What do we got? Holy shit, where'd all the fluid go? No wonder. What the frig? Yeah, they sucked that dry. Wow, that's funny. This is why I need somebody else with me. This freaking thing is leaking everywhere. $9 freaking oil can from you know where. Don't want to dish them. Maybe they'll be my sponsor someday. All right, let's pump it up. She's coming. Shut her off. See if I got any lever. See if I got anything. Nothing. This is not a fun job. It's not a fun job at all. We're just gonna keep going and see what happens. I think tomorrow I might take a little visit to a buddy's place and let you see what he's up to. Things are going good. I got some toolboxes donated for my Wrenching for Wellness project that I'm trying to get going on my other channel. Check that out, why don't you? Anyways, and all you stokers out there, thanks for showing up yesterday. It was a great time. 63 stokers all in one place at one time. Oh my God, it was fun. It really, really was. A couple of tables, an old folks table and a young folks table, and then we had the antique vintage guys up in the other area. It was freaking hilarious. Saw a lot of old bosses, and it was fun as hell. Really, really was. And I can see this taking off, and I can see us filling the place. So anyways, all right, so I'm going to go see a stoker buddy tomorrow. Hopefully he's going to be around. And I've got a couple to choose from, so maybe one of them, and I'll let you know. All right, so keep on watching, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. All right. Here we go. Long time ago, I said I was going to visit other bike guys that work on things, and here we are. I've found my good friend, Bruce, and here we are. We're out at Bruce's place, and here he is. Bruce Goldsmith.
I'm not here, am I?
Goldie's Garage.
Hey.
You got a YouTube channel too, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're working on, what are you working on?
lots of stuff. Mostly old British bikes.
British bikes,
Some
yeah.
Japanese.
Yeah.
When I was running this place as a full-time shop, I decided that I'd have a cutoff date of 1980 and that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, nothing newer than 80.
nothing newer than 80.
Cool.
Not interested in it.
I got a FXE 79, so I made it. I made it.
You know what? You could probably write what I know about FXEs in the back page of a Campfire notebook.
Right on. So listen, I'm going to flip it around and let you have a little look at what we got here, and maybe Bruce will tell us what they are. So just a sec. Bruce, what do you got? What's this?
All right, that's a 69 Royal Enfield 750. It's called an Interceptor. It belongs to an old buddy of mine named Charlie O'Reilly. He put it away about 30 years ago. Anyway, the object of this is just to get it running, try to get it out on the street. I've had it running, so that's a good sign.
Right.
Just waiting for the weather to get a little nicer so I can get it out on the street and actually use it. There's a few things will need replacing, like primary chain's pretty bad in it and that sort of thing. But I did get a new primary.
Good.
They're expensive.
Boy,
Actually,
oh boy.
the actual chain isn't bad, but the shipping, because it's shipped by UPS from England, and then of course UPS makes you go through the pain in the ass of paying taxes too.
Right.
So they're basically holding you at ransom while they've got your parts. It's extortion really when it comes right down to it.
It's crazy.
Hey, buddy, we have your parts.
Yeah.
We'll
Pay
give
up.
them to you if you pay us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you pay with something in British pounds from another country called Great Britain, and it comes over here, and then you have to pay Canadian taxes. So that don't make any sense to me at all. Sounds like you're working with a guy named Vinny or Carmine or something like that.
Yeah, that's that, and even getting stuff out of the States is they got you handcuffed.
Can be brutal. And
Especially they use Purelator or UPS. I mean,
UPS is bad.
they got these bondage fees, and
It's okay if you're coming across Canada, UPS, but if you're coming from the States or anywhere else, they got those border brokerage fees, and they skin you alive.
brokerage. Yeah. So what's that? What's the next one?
Okay, this one here, you would have thought was cool about 30 years ago, because that was as chopped as you could get it.
Wow.
I had a set of stainless steel girder forks that I'd made
Oh,
up for the rigid frame, prism gas tank, the double headlights,
Nice.
the whole 9 yards. But I got to tell you that I had a bad accident on it right before my son was born.
Right.
I decided, okay, I got that out of my system now, and I'll start going back the other way. And
Yeah. I think you mentioned that in one of your videos that you did the chopper thing for a while, and
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so many people thought it was a Triumph when it was chopped that I thought, well, why don't I try to make it look like a Triumph? So that's what I did.
It's a
and
big
it fools
motor.
a lot of people.
Yeah.
So
It's a big motor, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a 650.
Jeez,
And
it
they're
looks
relative,
huge.
they're pretty comparable to a 650 Triumph or a VSA.
Right.
You know, they're not wringing power out of them. Like if you took a 650 Suzuki Twin, like the old Tempters, it would go all over that.
Huh.
Smoother, more
Wow.
powerful.
Wow, wow, wow.
Even the 500 Yamaha was about the same power output as that there.
Is
But
that right?
these things will last forever.
Right.
That's the good
Right,
thing.
right,
about
right. There you go, folks. That's what year is that now?
That's a 75.
75,
And
yeah.
it looked like brand new when I bought it, and I wish I had left it alone. So I'm pretty good at looking after stuff, but the only trouble is that I had to get that out of my system.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I wanted to build choppers and that kind of thing. It was a thing back in those days.
Sure it
back in
was.
the, you know, late 70s, early 80s,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. Cafe racers were just starting to come in.
Right.
And if you had a two-stroke bike, they were good for that. But if you're running a two-stroke chopper, just doesn't sound
No,
right.
no, a little tingy, yeah.
I've seen a few of them done up that
Right.
actually didn't look too bad, but you got to keep the big pipes on them to get that resonation going, and the, you know, the back, not the back pressure, but the shock wave coming back up through the exhaust.
Right.
Because two-strokes, they live and die by the exhaust. If you don't have a good exhaust system, you don't have a good two-stroke.
Right, right, right. What's up next behind it?
Next
It's in
behind
nice shape.
it, that's a nice little 69 Triumph 500. That was in Mike Herman's collection.
Oh, Mikey.
And it had not, I actually restored that for a friend of mine about 14 years ago now. But it hadn't been ridden, it hadn't been loved. And anyway, I had a 750 Atlas at Norton that I had done up about a year before, and Mike wanted that pretty bad. So anyway, it was like there was an earwig in my brain chewing away in there about this poor little bike. And I thought, well, I called Mike up anyway, and I said, listen, I said, do you still want the Norton? He said, hell yeah. And I said, well, I'll tell you what. I said, I'll make a deal with you. And I said, you're getting the clean end of the stick here because there's nothing wrong with this bike. It's perfect. But I said, you got to make me a promise if I trade you. And that promise is that you will drive it.
Right.
So he's been driving that Atlas. He's real pleased with it. And
Excellent.
I'm happy that he's driving it. And
Excellent.
I'm happy that I got that little 500 back on the road. And
that's good.
And getting used. And I'm not into big bikes.
Yeah.
I don't care how much power they make. I just enjoy going out on basically secondary roads and going around the twisty bends and having a good time.
Having a nice ride. All right, the last one that I can see.
That one over there, that's a 69 Norton, the same as the one on the left. That would have been an S model with the two high pipes on the left-hand side originally.
Okay.
But it came to me in Roadster trim like that, so I just decided that I like the look of the Roadster better anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was my first restoration, and that was back in 1989. I think I got that.
This is another Commando?
That's another Commando. That's also a 69. It's also that same S model, but again, I'm building this one as an R model, so it's a little different than the Roadster. It'll have lower pipes and that sort of thing.
It's mint, man.
No,
it is friggin' mint.
It wasn't mint when I got it, but
My
it's
goodness.
going back together. So
my goodness.
the whole point of restoring something is to make it look like it's brand new. And
my goodness.
I don't worry too much about perfection. I'm not into doing like concourse restorations and that. My restorations are to drive.
Right.
So
clean
as long
and
as they're
pretty.
period correct and nice looking, then I'm happy.
Yeah. And the last one over here?
That one there, that's a leftover from another project. It's a Panther frame, a lightweight Panther. It would have been a 350 originally. And anyway, like I said, Mike had that project left over from a Panther that I restored for him about 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
And it's kind of an odd little bike because they were long stroke, slow plodders, but all kinds of torque. Like if you were in fourth gear, you could climb up the side of an outhouse with them and never have a bit of trouble with it. But
Right on.
Anyway, that frame was left over and a couple other odds and ends. And I said,
Yeah.
geez, what are you going to do with that? He said, probably nothing. You want it? And I said, sure.
Ain't that awesome?
So anyway, I put Honda wheels on it.
Yeah.
It's got fenders off other bikes. I made a few odds and
Yeah,
ends.
yeah.
The transmission, I think, is from an AJS. And I made up the engine plates and all that. And that engine's actually a 350cc snowblower engine.
Oh,
So I haven't had it out to ride it yet,
Yeah.
but it's all set to go. The engine runs. It's got brakes and everything. So one of these days this spring, I'm going to sneak that out on the back road up here and just see how well it works. I don't want to go any faster than 50 miles an hour with it because that's probably about as fast as it would.
And this is a snowblower engine.
That's a snowblower engine.
Holy crow. There you go, folks. Anything's possible, huh? Look at that.
Yeah, as long as you think
Anything's-
about it enough and sleep on it, you can come up with something.
Wow,
No,
that's interesting.
That was a good little project last winter that really kept me busy.
Yeah.
But like I said, I haven't got it out to actually try it yet.
Well, it's coming up. I can see it.
Yeah. Like I said, it's already no. I got no excuse. It's got brakes and everything, so
Yeah.
I can sneak it out.
That's good. That's good.
See
One of
what
my
happens.
other videos I did, I introduced my heat engine to the video. So
Oh,
there you
yeah.
go, folks. Look, there's Bruce's. And I said in my video that Bruce did some tweaks to his heat engine. Maybe I'll get him to share with us what he did.
Pretty simple. It's got a Teflon piston ring on the power piston.
Yep.
And I put a ball bearing on the end of the power piston.
Okay.
That's really all I did. Except, I clipped the fan off a little
You
bit.
clipped the fan and you pitched them.
Yep, curved them a bit.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I remember I showed that to a bunch of buddies of mine. They didn't know anything about it. I said, cover your ears because it's deafening when it starts up. So
Oh, I know,
12 guys out here with their hands over their ears, give it a push, and it makes no sound at all.
Did you balance the counterweight? You got holes drilled in it.
A little bit.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't seem to make much difference.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's cool. And that's fun. I mean, I've known Bruce a long time and we sailed together on ships. And I remember Bruce bringing a piece of wood on watch and started carving. At the end of the watch, we had a dory, or Bruce had a dory, and just making stuff nonstop. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool.
Well,
Let me
keep my fingers dirty.
Yeah,
that
so-
kind of thing.
One more time for Bruce's YouTube channel, Goldie's Garage. You can check him out. He's working on British bikes, and he goes over to Mike's place. Mike Herman, me and him were friends a long time ago. We used to race RC boats together. But anyways, let me shut this down and flip it over, and we'll do a little bit more. Right on, Bruce. That's good. So you got some other stuff anywheres or what?
Oh, yeah. I got the little shed out there. There's 4 bikes out there. There's a
What?
49 Norton. That's my get high bike.
Right?
I don't get high on it, but I get high from driving.
No shit.
Yeah, it's great because you get out on that old thing on a sunny day with the nice weather and no cars behind you or something.
Leather helmet.
I hit a deer. I don't wear leather
Oh,
helmets
Jesus.
anymore.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Full face all the way now.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
but that bike, you just think about how old it is and how good it works.
And that it's still working.
And that it's still working after all these years.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
great.
That's good.
There's a 55 AJS out there. That was a bike that Mike gave me, actually. He said,
Wow,
you do so many
wow.
nice things for me. He said, I want to do this for you. And he showed up. There was a pile of parts in the back of his truck, and he had an envelope with papers in it.
Oh,
He said, if you don't take this, I'll be mad. I said, well, I won't make you mad because I always wanted one of those.
my goodness. Look at that. Ain't that
Anyway,
awesome?
there was that. There's another Triumph 500 Cafe Racer out there.
Yeah.
That's a 68 engine. And I think a 69 frame. Not that makes any difference. But anyway, that's a fun little bike to drive. That's a kind of a bike where you tend to act like a jerk when you're driving it. Pretend you're on a racetrack or something, even though you aren't. But anyway, it's a lot of fun. And then there's I guess it's a motorized bicycle. But
Okay.
what I did was I wanted to make it look like a 1912 Rover. And that came out really well. It's the first time I ever used a belt drive transmission.
Okay.
The ones like snowmobile where you get
Oh,
a variable ratio.
The torque converter kind of deal, right?
They
Right,
work
right.
really well. And
Right.
that bike is a nice machine to drive. It's got 3 brakes on it if you get into trouble. So,
There you go. There you go.
yeah, it's good fun.
All right, folks, here we go. We got another little collection. Oh yeah. Oh
Watch
my
your
God.
step, Gus.
Look at that. Look at that. Is this the bicycle one, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Ain't that awesome? Oh man,
None of those little Chinese 2-stroke engines there. That's a
look at, are those valve springs on the side or what?
well, they're valve springs, but they don't connect to any
Oh,
valves.
I was gonna say,
I just wanted it to look that way.
ain't that awesome? Ain't that awesome? Then you got a Triumph in the back. That's
Yeah,
a nice looking beast.
Cafe bike there.
That's a nice looking beast.
I call that my karma bike.
Oh right.
When I started building that, people started giving me parts, and it was like, well, think of all the parts you gave away over the years, you know.
Oh my God.
That's the one I get to feeling like I'm high on.
Wow. Wow.
Morton there, yeah.
Big solo seat on it. Ain't that nice? Ain't that nice? And what's this baby?
That's
Oh,
the
this is-
55 AJS, that one.
Ain't that something else? And if anybody's getting any ideas, we're out here in Middle Sackville, so don't get stupid. I love this. Look at the girder. Look at the light. Is that a kerosene light?
No. You
Oh
want to
my
know what that's
God.
made out of?
It's
That's
probably
made from an old cook pot.
a cook pot.
Not a cook pot, you know, the pot you put your leftover supper in, throw it in the fridge.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Canister.
Yeah,
Ain't
that's it,
that
yeah.
awesome? You got the horn on it. So what's the 2 levers over there?
There's a throttle, and the other one's a choke.
Aye.
But the choke isn't hooked up, doesn't really need
Okay.
it.
Big old kill switch on it. Ain't that... What's the CC on that?
I don't really know.
Yeah?
But it's,
Wow.
it's a 5-horse engine, but that'll push that thing along about 40 miles an hour. Yeah.
Is that a homemade front end?
That's one I made up. Yeah.
Holy crow. Look at the
Yeah,
springs
I
are.
wanted it to look like one of the old, what would you call them? The old web girders.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's very... Wondering about the breakfast you had this morning. Was that with the Vintage guys?
Yeah.
The
yeah,
Vintage Club
yeah.
you're part of or president of?
Yeah. For now.
What's it called?
Atlantic Vintage Motorcycle Society.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So vintage meaning under what year?
Over 25. Over 25 is good enough for us.
Over 25 years old, and any make or model?
Any make or model.
Right.
Yeah. No, the only thing, well, there's nothing really. It's just
So you guys do the
drive old bikes. That's it.
do you guys do the gentleman's ride or something like that?
We did that for a few years. And one of the other guys took the reins on that. He thought it was a good idea. We did, I think, for about 5 years. We did the
Right.
Distinguished Gentleman's Ride.
Distinguished, that's right, that's right.
No, it raises money for prostate cancer
Well,
and mental health and that kind
right
of thing.
on.
So it was a good thing. But anyway, that used to be in September. Then after COVID, they changed everything around and they run it now in May, and that runs into our ride schedule. So it was like, well, we can still squeeze it in,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
at the
yeah,
same
yeah.
time, it's like, who's gonna lead it, right?
Right,
And,
right.
I mean, I got enough stuff to do as far as I'm concerned, being president.
I
and,
hear you. Yeah.
You know, it's difficult to try to get other people to volunteer. to
Sure it
do
is. I know all
things,
about
and,
it. Yeah,
you
I know all
you
about
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we do this?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a
Good idea.
Are
Away you
gonna
go.
volunteer? Oh, no, not me. You know.
Our veterans group is like that. My
Yeah.
goodness gracious. We got umpteen dozen cooks. Do you think we can find anybody to run a barbecue?
The thing that gets me about that is
It's
that
funny.
most of these guys have been in jobs where they're in senior positions.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of university professors, retired police officers,
Right,
ex-military,
right.
all kinds of people who have been in positions of authority in that, but
Yeah.
they won't take charge of anything. You know, it's no.
You got to get the lower deckers to do it.
Yeah.
My goodness. Well, anyways, that's good. I really appreciate Bruce letting me come out and say hello and checking out his stuff. We're going to do another little segment here for my other channel, Wrenching for Wellness. with a 4 in between. So check that other channel out. We're going to do a little chit chat and talk about wrenching and get it all wrapped up and hopefully posted soon enough. Thank you, buddy.
Hey, no
Thanks,
problem.
man. Thank you. It's
Glad to
awesome.
do it.
All right, folks, we'll be right back. Well, that was fun. Hey, that was good. Thank you, Bruce. That was awesome. Goldie's Garage. Check him out on YouTube. So yeah, I was out here this morning trying to bleed the brakes a little bit on this Honda, and I'm just wondering, why don't I got any lever? You know, why have I got no lever? So upon further investigation, I've been pumping this for days, and I've discovered that there's no plunger between the end of the lever and the piston. There's no plunger. It's just a space. It's not moving anything. So I'm going to make a plunger, make a rod. It's about that long. Stick it between the end of the lever and the piston, and that's what moves the piston back and forth, which pushes fluid. I've been pumping it for days and I'm not doing a damn thing. This has been one, just a simple project. Put disc brakes on this thing, but it's turned into so much. Anyways, it's all right. It's all good. I said it before. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It's still forward. So, anyways, I'm trying out a new mic here. I hope it sounds okay. I apologize. The video that we just did with Bruce, I used some mics that I just got, and his was down low, mine was up high, so I was loud and he was a little bit low. So it's a learning curve. We'll get it figured out. Anyways, I'm gonna take that apart, and there's a little adjuster nut on there. I'm gonna take that off and see how long of a plunger I gotta make, and get that pumping some fluid. And I'm gonna cut that wrench. I'm gonna flip it, get somebody to weld it, and make that more sturdy. That spacer's no good. So those who know what I'm talking about, but I'll show it in the next video. So we're gonna wrap it up. Don't forget to check out my other channel, Wrenching for Wellness, with a 4 in between the 2 words. It's a YouTube channel, and not got a whole lot of subscribers, but we're just trying to make it right. I've got lots of stuff ready to be donated as soon as we find some place to go. I have a link to a spot in Clayton Park. I just don't know what the rent is, and he hasn't messaged me back yet. So we'll see what happens. Thank you, Steph, for that. Right on. So keep watching. Check on your buddy, and hang tight. And like and subscribe if you can. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.